It is 11:30. It is April Bards Day 2021, and I am your grumpy guide to all things Bards. And all day today, we are talking about how awesome the Bard class is. Thank you, Charles Smith, for this idea. If you want to blame anybody for this April Bards Day prank, it's him. So let's talk again about how awesome Bards are. And now we're going to talk about 5th edition Bards. And the reason why 5th edition Bards are awesome, despite all the complaints of how they break the game and they can do everything everybody else does, is because people have been playing Bards wrong. They've been playing them as these namby-pamby, manic pixie girl, green-haired, I'm playing my loot, I'm either going to kill everything or fuck everything character. And that's not what Bards are, because performance is an optional skill now. You don't have to take it. And when you think about that, when you think about what a bard really is, if you just take away the name and look at the skills, look at the abilities, look what a bard can do. Well, here's somebody who's just sort of generally good at everything, but not specifically good at any one thing. He's a guy who can sort of just fit in anywhere, but then you quickly forget about him. You know, one moment he's playing cards at a casino, maybe across from a slave trader. And then the next moment, maybe he's seducing the slave trader's wife to get information for her. And then maybe the next moment, while he's seducing the slave trader's wife, he uses his persuasion skills to get the slave trader's wife to tell him where the slave trader is meeting somebody. Then he leaves the slave trader's wife behind, cons his way over to where the slave trader is, just fits in with everybody else who's around because he's just sort of this forgettable dude. Nobody really notices him. He's just kind of good at everything. He's sort of generally polite, generally fits in, uses his stealth to sneak up on the slave trader. And then when the slave trader isn't looking, he stabs him in the back and kills him and takes the information from the slave trader that he needs to save the slaves. And then because he's just sort of this suave everyman who's kind of good at everything, the bard just sneaks into, the wharf where the slave trader's boat is. And, he can use his general array of skills because, again, he's sort of generally good at everything. He's not specifically good at spell casting or healing or fighting or even being a thief. He's just kind of this general everyman, this sort of guy who can just sort of do a little bit of everything. When he needs it, he's got his theme music, but when he doesn't need it, he does it, and he works his way up to the boat where the slaves are being held, cons his way in, maybe kills a guy, disguises him. In fact, support me, Pepsi. Doesn't this sound like somebody else? I mean, when you think about it, doesn't this kind of sound like, who do we know who's sort of generally good at everything, who can sort of gamble and seduce and kill when he has to, work his way into any situation, outthink people? Well, in fact, sounds like half hitman, half monk. When you think about it, the bard is Bard. James Bard. That's right. The 5th edition Bard is fucking James Bond. And that's why they're cool. License to ill!